I've helped 6 to 9 figure entrepreneurs hire, train, and keep high-performing team members that grew the business even when they were not there by giving them personalized business strategies and a unique mindset system that I call the Warrior Shaman system. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you. Enjoy. Your business lives or dies by the quality and performance of your team. But how can you boost your team's performance if they keep leaving? This system will solve that challenge for you. And it might look very complicated, but I promise you it's very simple to understand. We've all had this happen to us. You just finished training a new team member and before you know it, they hand in their 2 weeks notice. Or even worse, they stay and they suck. And you know that there's no way to build that big business of your dreams if this keeps up. But that's exactly what we're going to be solving together in this video. And all you need is a cup of coffee, a lighter, and a piece of paper. Because by the end of this video, you will gain the biggest advantage that you can have over your competition. And that will make this system work like clockwork for you. Okay, let's dive in. This right here is you. Overworked, overwhelmed, busy, but not really productive. And you basically decide to get some help. I just want to say congratulations, because a lot of entrepreneurs are actually afraid to hire people because they believe they don't have a budget, or because they think that nobody wants to work anymore, which is complete nonsense. Or they're too trapped into the hustle mentality of I have to work, otherwise I am a failure. You decide you want to get some help. So what do? You start writing a job offer, and then, you have some interviews, and at the end of the day, you decide on somebody to interview. And by the way, when you're interviewing, it's actually costing you what? Time and money. Then you need to train that person once you hire them. This is costing you even more time and even more money. And then most businesses actually end up in this situation where employees are not very motivated, they're not very happy, they're not really performing, and this is costing you a lot more money and a lot more time, obviously. And then what eventually happens is, of course, they quit. They're happy to get out of your organization, your business, and they brag about it to all of their friends about how awesome it was that they left their job. What we want is for them to be super happy, super motivated, and inspired, so that they either become loyal employees, because this is basically when you will start recovering your investment of time and money. When you have this, when you walk into the business and you see this going on. So what you will have is one of two scenarios. They're either going to be very loyal, or scenario number 2 that we're going to talk about that you actually really want for your business. I'll tell you more about it in a bit. What's the difference between this, where maybe you see a peak in performance because you have new team members, but then once they start dropping off, you are going back to where you started, back to the overwork, back to the overwhelm, and not being that productive because you just have so much on your plate. You have so many fires to put out. We're going to explore the difference between what inspires exponential growth in a business, what are the systems that they have in place, and what basically everybody else is doing wrong. Right? This is basically the status quo of business today. You want to avoid all of these, and you want to be doing all of this. So let's start with the job offer. What do most people do wrong? Most businesses do wrong when it comes to the job offer. They write a traditional boring job offer. They Google how to write a job offer, and basically it's responsibilities, benefits, salary, blah, 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 right? Who are you going to attract? The main focus of the job offer is the salary. So of course, when you are using this type of format, you're going to attract people who only care about how much you pay them. Whenever somebody offers them more money, they will leave your company in a heartbeat. We don't want that. So of course, another mistake that most businesses make is they ask for written resumes. And you have this pile of written resumes that you need to read, go over, and you're just wasting valuable time doing work that you shouldn't be doing. What does a high-performing business do? They create a unique job offer, a job offer that stands out. You present your vision in the job offer, the vision for your business, how you're making the world a better place. Why? Because high performers are attracted by making a difference in the world. Think of yourself back when you were, working a 9 to 5. You felt like your work wasn't really that meaningful. You felt like you wanted to do something that would benefit a lot more people. That's why you started your business. Or maybe, if the company would have given you the outlet to express yourself that way, to feel that you are making a contribution that matters, that you're not just a number or a cog in this machine, you might still be working, you might still be employed, because the job would be so fulfilling, right? So that's super, super important. If you want high performers, you need to be very, very clear and have an exciting vision to present right from the start. You want to share your story in a unique way. And I'm going to give you an example of somebody who, actually my client, who used this exact structure and how things massively changed for her. Share your story in a unique way. Present the company values also in a unique way, right? Not just list them, but present them in the form of benefits. And of course, ask for video resumes instead. Ask people to get creative and make a video, pull out their phones or use a camera and say, hey, why do you feel you would be a great fit, right? What makes you qualify for this position, and what is the additional value, the unique value that you could bring to the team? This is an extra step. So asking for video resumes instead of written resumes basically attracts people who are willing to go the extra mile. And using this whole system attracts people who believe in your vision, who want to be an active component to you making a difference in the world, right? But the problem is that most business owners aren't really clear on what that vision is, right? If I ask a business owner, they say, what's your vision? Well, to grow a big business, to support my family. That's not a vision statement. Microsoft is super successful, or dominated the market because they had a clear and powerful vision. Their vision statement was a computer on every desk. At the time, that sounded insane because computers were expensive and they were still a bit of a niche product. Whereas today, that's actually the reality. Something that felt impossible at the time is today's reality. That's why they attracted powerful people. Same with SpaceX. SpaceX employees don't go to work because they're thinking, hey, we're building rockets. To them, it's we're building an interplanetary species. So having that powerful vision that inspires people is essential. It's the first step. Now, I promised you a story. My client was exactly here. Overworked, overwhelmed, super busy, not really that productive. She desperately needed an operational manager, but she hired and fired 4 people for this role since the start of the year. I had her go through this system. Guess how long it took her to hire an exceptional operational manager? 1 week, and they're still working together. This is a very powerful combination. But like I said, it's not going to work unless you are super clear on your vision. And they actually have a training and a worksheet that you can use to get super clear on that vision and what that vision statement is. If you want me to send it to you, just message me on Instagram or LinkedIn and you'll have it in your inbox as soon as possible. Now, what's another mistake that people make when interviewing? They hire them immediately after the interview. Oh, wow, you made such a beautiful impression. Let's sign the contract. Let's work together for 6 months. Smart businesses give potential employees a trial period. Let's work together for a month. Let's see how it goes. Let me see you in action. This is important because people in an interview can literally say anything. So you want to test out what they're actually saying. Another big mistake when it comes to training new team members is simply focusing on teaching the new job. Here's what you have to do. Here's how you have to do it. Powerful businesses do these 2 things. Number 1, they learn about the new team member. They ask them, what experiences do you want to have in this lifetime? It could be starting my own business. It could be climbing Mount Everest. It could be having my own YouTube channel. And then number 2, how do you want to grow? What are their growth goals within the company? Do they want to be promoted to team leader? Do they want to be promoted to vice president? And number three, how do they want to contribute? Do they want to give back or help other members in the business? Or do they also want to help people outside of the business, charities, or become a lot more active in terms of client satisfaction? Very important aspects to understand, because when you become an active component to them achieving all three, and one way of doing it is posting their answers in a public board in the office, or if you're doing this virtually, have a document with all of these answers. Why? Because some people might have similar goals in the way that they want to grow, or maybe in the way that they want to contribute, or maybe in the experiences that they want to have. Maybe they want to sail around the world. They can group together and organize something like that. Imagine your team, going to work and knowing that they have people who see them, who understand them deeply, people who care about them achieving their goals, starting with you, the leader. What kind of happiness and satisfaction would that inspire inside of your company? Very, very powerful. Of course, teach them about the job, but you have to learn about them as well. Because if you help them achieve their dreams, they're going to help you achieve yours. Write this down. Another big mistake that average businesses make is, without even knowing it, creating a highly competitive working environment and them feeling like, oh my God, we want people to be competitive because that's how they increase performance. You want to know what's better than people competing against each other and what boosts performance more? People supporting each other. This right here. Systems and incentives for the team to motivate and support each other. Again, it starts from you. It starts from the top. So imagine someone in your sales team. They're struggling to close. Their colleague is like, I don't have time to help you because I have to close my own deals. So your new team members is just feeling isolated and feels like nobody cares. How are they going to boost their performance? On the flip side, imagine having an incentive where when one sale is made, the whole team gets a small bonus, a small reward. You could have a percentage of each sale going to the team fund and then distributing that fund. Of course, it doesn't have to be a massive sum because you're actually demotivating people to improve and work, but something like a sign of appreciation. And when that new team member is struggling to close, he will have support from other people because they all win. Very powerful. So making all of these basic mistakes, or rather using this basic outdated system, will guarantee people joining and then leaving your team after a while. And guess what? You're back to point zero. And we don't want that. What we want is to inspire loyalty, or somebody leaving the team, but for a much better position because they grew so much inside of your company. They're being hired for this stellar position, or they are starting their own businesses. Now, here's why you want that. This is going to be exceptionally powerful in this stage of the hiring process. Because imagine you're interviewing someone new and they're saying, hey, you know what? I would love, let's say you decide to ask them these questions, which is not a bad idea, by the way. You can even include these questions in the interview. So imagine you ask them, how do you want to grow? And they say, you know what? I would actually love to start my own business. So you can basically give them the example of Alex, who was in your team for a year, 2 years, or 3 years, or whatever that may be. And guess what? They started their own business and now they're doing super, super well because of the training, because of the growth that they've experienced inside of your company. I want to share with you the biggest advantage that you will ever have over your competition. But before I do, I highly recommend you join my 14-day Elite Business Mastery experience. It's completely free, but you will get more value out of this elite experience than the programs you've paid tens of thousands of dollars for. But don't take my word for it.
And I've been through a lot of coaches and stuff, and I feel like I've made more progress in the last 3 sessions with you than I have in other programs that I've done. So
Yeah, I get that. And I just wanted to leave a quick review of Bogdan Rosu's 14-day free program. I've got to say, I was extremely impressed by this program. On our first couple calls together, the amount of insight and actionable information that Bogdan was willing to go over with me for free trumps just about anything I've learned from any other paid program I've been part of before.
In the 14-day experience, I will show you how you can implement this exact system and personalize it to your specific business, your specific needs, and your specific vision. I'm also going to show you how to get super clear on your vision, your values, and create a killer job offer that attracts superstars to your business that will grow the business even when you're not in the room to manage them. I mentioned the story of my client. She actually hired her new high-performing operational manager within the 14 days that we spent together in this exact experience. I highly recommend you click on the link below, learn more about it, and if this is exciting, I will see you in our first call. Now for the truth. Most people watching this video, most entrepreneurs, will never use these elements. Even if they understand the power, the value of these elements, they will never truly implement them. Maybe they will start using some of this, maybe some of this, maybe some of this, but then after a while, they will go to their baseline. And the reason for that, the simple reason, is because they haven't created this yet. Their baseline is thinking and acting like an employee in their own business. That's not what you want. You want to think and act like a multi-millionaire business owner. And here's the simple reason why this identity shift is so important. When you start using the system, you will be hiring rock stars in your team. You will hire people who are better at the job than you. And a simple example would be if you do not level up your confidence, your business owner confidence. When you have that interview with this high performer, all you're going to be thinking about is, why would this person ever want to work for me? You will feel intimidated when it comes to leading that person. It happened to a client of mine before we started working together. He had an interview with a powerful manager that could have leveled up his to float spa businesses, but never hired that person because he was too intimidated by him. So without this does not work. Because if you want to experience this level of success, you have to be the person who can handle this level of success right now. Not when you get it, because even if you get it, you're gonna lose it. Because this is still going to be your baseline. And we don't want that. How do you shift your identity? Well, the fastest and easiest way would be through the 14-day Elite Business Mastery experience. But in the meantime, if you want a quick win, take out your piece of paper and write down, I used to act like an employee in my own business, and light that sucker on fire. Not in your house, go outside. Now you know how to attract, hire, and maintain high-performing team members, but how do you take it up a notch and boost profits while working less? That's exactly what this video is about. Check it out and let me know which of the tools you're planning to implement first.